First question's up from Alex. He says, Bradley, having service pages and location pages links placed in an accordion folding element for decluttering the page still pass the service location association the same way if links were visible? Yes. I know that Google does crawl accordion dropdowns, but will the link association be passed on? Yes. Yeah, it will be. As long as the element is within the main content body, so within the body tags of the page, then yeah, Google's reading it, and it's still treated as a contextual link. And in fact, remember, I recommend applying H tags, headings. It'll be typically H3s and or H4s. So H3s and sometimes also H4s in the hierarchy of that internal link element block that I recommend that you insert into service pages, right? So for example, if you have, or vice versa, right? So if you have on service pages, you should have an internal link block that is going to list and link to the location pages that service is available to, which is likely going to be all of them, right? And then on location pages, you want to have an internal link element, which is just a table or whatever that has links, so columns and rows or however you want to format it. It doesn't really matter. But what I always recommend is that you have that universal internal link element that's a block of internal links for lists and links to location pages. That's going to be inserted into each service page. Then you're going to have an internal link element, a block of internal links to service pages that will be universally inserted into each location page. That's that association link, right? Between the service and all of the locations that service is available to, and the location and all of the services that are available at that location. You see what I'm saying? So you're creating the association. Now, if you have top level and like pages and then supporting pages, top level categories, supporting categories, whatever, however you want to talk about it, then that may change how you build the hierarchy of the internal links within the element block. Again, I typically just recommend a table, but you can, like, if you have a lot of location pages or a lot of services, then it may make sense to do tabbed content or accordion menus or something like that. All of those are still within the content body. So of the body tags of that page. So they're still treated as contextual links. But what I was getting at with the headings or H tags as anchor text is you add more significance to a contextual link when it has an H tag as an anchor text. You understand? Because it's telling Google this is more important. So it's adding some significance to the link. And so if you use proper it's going to be subheadings, right? I always recommend an H2 as a heading, right? Remember, an H1 is going to be a page or post title, and a heading is an H2. Subheadings are going to be H3s, 4s, 5s, etc. So an H2 heading would state, this service is available in these following locations, or these services are available at this location. Do you see what I'm saying? So the H2 is going to introduce that internal link block element of internal links. Depending on which page it is, will determine the phrasing of that H2. But then the internal link element, if there's top level and supporting pages, right? Top level services, supporting services. So for example, HVAC. If it is an HVAC contractor that does HVAC, plumbing, and electrical, like a lot of them do, then on a location page, you would have we provide the following services in, Pikeville, Kentucky. And then it would say at the top, HVAC, an H3. So there'd be three columns, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, right? The top would be an H3 anchor text link that goes to the top level service page for HVAC. Then supporting service pages would be like air conditioning, central heating, indoor air quality, right? Those types of things, which would be H4s underneath the respective HVAC H3 heading in that table of internal link element or internal links, excuse me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then the plumbing top level service page, then like plumbing repair, plumbing pipe installation, drain cleaning, those are all supporting services. So H3 to the plumbing services page, H4s to the supporting services pages that fall under the plumbing category. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and the same thing could be done with location pages if there is a hierarchy to location pages, meaning perhaps you have county pages and in-city pages. Well, then you would list counties at the top of the column headers, if that makes sense. All I'm trying to say is, and you don't have to overcomplicate it. I'm not telling you to build complex silo structures. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying if the build requires that, that is how you would structure those internal links. Those links are going to be counted, whether they're in accordion menus, drop downs, tables, tabbed content, it doesn't matter. They're in the content body of the page. Okay, hopefully that's clear. And the links are more significant with the H tags with proper markup, proper usage of H tags, right? The H2 is the heading that introduces the elements that are supporting that H2 statement, right? And the H4s, which would be supporting pages that are supporting the top level service category or location category, if that makes sense, depending on which type of internal link block you're optimizing. All right.